If your LinkedIn feed is full but your calendar's empty, you're not actually prospecting on LinkedIn. You're just showing up and performing. Yeah, you're just putting the show on that you're posting some content and you think that that's it. So many marketing teams have got this wrong. We're going to talk today with Willis, who's an absolute expert in LinkedIn, lead generation and marketing. He's going to give you the stuff that doesn't work and the stuff that does work so that you can take this away and apply in your business to start getting some results. And that result is paying customers, people that actually, marketing that actually gets people, that pays you and makes a difference on that bottom line. Welcome to the podcast. I mean, look, who out there is a business owner, founder, or have a marketing team? I was having this discussion earlier on with two business owners actually, and they're looking for a new marketer. And I said, "What's the role that you're going to get this marketer to do?" And they said, "Well, the main thing is all our clients are on LinkedIn, so we're going to get him or her in to start just posting on LinkedIn, sharing the stuff from there on a bit of Facebook, a bit of Instagram." And I said, whoa, hold on. What is the actual goal that you're trying to achieve from this marketer? It's really interesting when people think marketing, that they think that modern day marketing is just posting and showing up on LinkedIn. Well, the first step is that you actually have to show up on LinkedIn and have a presence. I get that. You do need content. But think entrepreneur. Think entrepreneur. Don't think university graduate that's just got their course and thinking, I'm going to post some content and it's really going to work. This is real world examples now. What entrepreneurs need is cash flow. They need this marketing to actually work. So if you're a founder, business owner, you're posting 3 times a week, you might be getting some likes. Some of your staff might be getting some likes. You get a few comments, but you're not actually getting any clients. Then your marketing is fucking broken, right? It's fucking broken. This is the trap that most founders think visibility is pipeline. Now, I've got co-host James Willis with me today. He is a marketing specialist and he specializes in lead gen. He's going to share with us how he uses LinkedIn to actually find clients. So thanks for coming on today, James. How you getting on, mate? You okay?
Hi, Lewis. Yeah, thanks for having me. All good, thank you. It's really interesting, isn't it? More is definitely less when it comes to this sort of thing, and you've hit the nail on the head there. You know, people who just think you can spray and pray and post what you like on LinkedIn, they might get a few clicks, but what they're not getting is they're not getting clients come through to them every day, every week. It's just spamming for the masses, isn't it? What we see a lot of people post online.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. And it pisses me off in a way because it's a real shame that people think that this is marketing. Marketing, it's really important to have this position in the market, right? So there's a lot of people out there that's doing it. A lot of people are just sharing posts and having a bit of a presence. But the reality is that business owners are the ones that really take the hit. Yeah, they're paying the wages. They need this to work. They need to see the margins and they need to see the money coming in and ultimately the bottom line. And if you're just posting stuff out there and going, yeah, it's really nice, we're getting a lot of likes and we're getting a lot of impressions and all this stuff. And myself as owning these different businesses that I own, it's like, well, what impact has that had? I put the financial hat on. I can actually hear my financial controller hat here going, yeah, but where's the money from here? So what do you reckon, mate? What's the biggest myths that you see being in the game of lead gen on LinkedIn?
The biggest myth for me is you can just post a few times and expect customers to come to you. It doesn't work that way. I think what you've mentioned there and what a lot of people fail to do is actually come up with a plan. It's really, really key. This is just as important as any other area of your business to grow it, to win clients. It's just as important as any other area. And sitting there and going, right, okay, so here's the 12 posts I'm going to share this month, 3 a week or whatever it might be. That's not enough, especially when it comes to LinkedIn. It's a platform that rewards engagement, but just as much you engaging with other people as people engaging with you. So you gotta have a plan, an outreach plan. Otherwise, frankly, you're fucked. You are literally just pissing in the wind, for want of a better phrase.
Yeah, just winging it. And you see so many people just winging it because everyone else seems to be posting on LinkedIn. And look, like we said, likes aren't always clients. I mean, I don't know about you, mate, but I'd post a lot of stuff on social media, and the people that come through and the leads that do come through, they don't come in massive numbers. In fact, sometimes I always feel that just posting content is a poor strategy when you compare it to doing direct messages, making phone calls, knocking on doors, doing some, investing in SEO, all these different strategies. They seem to be the things that pay off more when the most popular things don't always pay off, but it's the most popular because it makes us feel fluffy and we're getting a lot of likes. It's like these people on Instagram with like 1 million followers, yeah, and they expect everything for fucking free. Well, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but followers aren't a currency. You might have 1 million followers, but show us your bank account, mate. Is it working? Is this actually turning into something that, you can't pay a mortgage with followers?
absolutely.
Banks don't care. Yeah.
It goes back to that, and we have over the last sort of decade, maybe more, since social media, rose to prominence. We've become creatures of instant gratification, haven't we?
Right.
Hearing that notification, hearing that ping, hearing that like, and all of a sudden getting the serotonin buzz of, oh, another follower, another like, which is great if you're an influencer and on Instagram who wants a free holiday or whatever you want. But when you're trying to appeal to an audience on LinkedIn that you want to work with your business, it's a much longer game than that, And like you rightly say, it's cash in the bank that's the winner there. That's what business owners should be getting their buzz off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, that starts with, from the very outset, connecting with the right people in the first place. That is absolutely key, absolutely paramount, and it's something that a lot of people overlook. Sitting down, identifying who their best clients have been, who they want to work with, and who their business best serves, and that for me is really, really key. Identifying your ideal client profile, because if you don't do that, who are you even addressing your content to? Who are you even reaching out to? It's a road to nowhere.
Yeah. And this is it. Posting is not prospecting.
No.
This is key. Like if you're going to make LinkedIn work, I mean, you're the expert in this, Willis. You tell me the story. How do you make LinkedIn work? What are people doing wrong, and how do they actually get LinkedIn to actually convert into clients? What should they be doing? Right? What should they not be focusing on? What should they be doing?
So there's really three core steps to a successful LinkedIn campaign, and the first one is what I've mentioned. It's planning. Okay, it's identifying who your ideal client profile are, the pain points that they might be experiencing, how your business can be a bit of a solutions bridge to those pain points and help them get towards their goals. That's really number one, and crafting content in a way that appeals and resonates with their pain points, their struggles, and positions you as a thought leader. But then that's great, but a plan without activity is just a bit of a dream, isn't it? It's a non-tangible. So the next step for me is the activity. What are you doing to attract the right people to you? So it's identifying and connecting with them, sending 20 to 30 connection requests a day, to your ideal client profile. It's about engaging with them as well. Now, like any form of networking, you've got to give to your network before you take from it. And LinkedIn knows that. So a really good feature is you can actually set notifications to when your ideal client profile prospects actually post on LinkedIn. So you can go on there and you can engage, you can like, you can share, you can comment, give your thoughts on their posts. And I'd recommend doing 5 to 10 of those a day.
Doing what,
You've got to
mate?
be
Sending messages or connections?
No, so once you've connected with someone, sent you 20 or 30 connection requests a day,
Yeah.
actually sending or putting comments on posts of people that you'd like to do business with.
So engaging on their content.
Engaging on their content 5 to 10 times a day. Of individuals, not the same person. It'll be a bit weird.
That'd be a bit weird. but people do it, right? Yeah, if you've all been...
Absolutely, I've had it done to me. But then it's about then creating content that is going to be is going to resonate with them. They're going to start liking and commenting on the content you're creating. Okay, and with that, you've constantly got to looking back to the ICP and their pain points and what you help overcome, and posting anywhere from 3 to 5 longer form posts each week yourself.
Yeah.
Direct messages really, really important as well, but getting them into a bit of a sequence, sending them are not too pushy, but look, something along the lines of, look, I noticed this in so and so industry. This is how we're helping other businesses like yours overcome this. It'd be great to gather your thoughts on the subject. Something like that.
Can I be devil's avocado here, though? Right?
Of course you can.
Devil's avocado. That was a job, by the way. If anyone thinks I'm being serious, devil's advocate. You never know with a podcaster. You never know. It pisses me off when I get messages like that. When I get DMs, and I get like 20 a day, right? Yeah. When I see them just spamming me and coming in, you've been doing like direct messaging, and your core business as well is to not just do the messaging on these personalization. You actually jump on the phone and you do what it takes to get them to become a customer. That's the USP that you offer, Willis. But what's your lessons in receiving messages like that, and how do you do stuff differently so it doesn't piss people off? I mean, is it the inevitable that you are going to piss some people off, or do we just keep on going anyway? What do you reckon?
Yeah, you can't please everyone, and some people will be pissed off. You could give them something for free, and they'll tell you off for wasting the time. But just going back to what you mentioned, people message you all the time, and it pisses you off. If someone was thoughtfully commenting on your posts, liking your posts, giving them even more visibility on LinkedIn, and actually engaging in discussion with you there before messaging you, would it piss you off so much, or would it actually give them 10 more seconds just to say what they wanted to say? Do you see what I mean about this? You need to be a familiar face. You need to be an authority. You need to be someone that when you do land in someone's DMs, they sort of already know you. They sort of already see your presence. They know what you're like through your content, through your comments, through everything else that you're doing. So that would be my sort of answer. Yes, you're going to piss people off, but you're going to piss people off far less when you've warmed them up through comments.
And I also think as well, mate, with that in mind, being warmed up through the comments and seeing your posts come up more often. So you have to be consistent on social media. So the posts do have worth. They do have value when you're becoming this, you're using LinkedIn for clients. But when you do have the DM, then I think you've built that know, like, and trust that you're not just somebody spamming from the other side of the world. Yeah. And also it's got to be timely and relevant to solve that person's problem. So just because your DM game isn't working, maybe, it doesn't mean it's not going to work for everybody, because you don't know what that person might be going through at that certain time. And if they do need it, I mean, I've got to be honest, there are some things that as long as that know, like, and trust is built, and it's not just like a random connection, I would go, that sounds interesting. I wouldn't mind having a look at that, or listening to the podcast. And it's got to be a low barrier to entry as well, mate. If they just say, hey, look, let's just jump on a strategy call, I'm like, mate, you know how much my time's worth?
Exactly. You're not selling in your initial DM message. There's nothing worse than getting the DM and going, look, hi James, saw you do lead generation. Do you want me to sell you a load of data? Let's jump on a call. No, I don't want that. And you've also got to bear in mind that, look, there's only around 3% of your market are buying at any one point. Yeah. So, it's about being present for when the other 97% fall into that 3%. And through that rhythmic level of activity and that DM, 2 weeks after you've sent that message, they might be looking for your service. They might be looking for lead generation, for example. And if I've messaged them a couple of weeks before, they may not have even replied, but then I've commented on a few posts since then. Actually, who are they going to think of when they're thinking, actually, let's start a lead generation campaign? Yeah. So it's not about an instant response. It's not about pissing people off. It's about being present in the right place when your prospects are ready to buy and being front of mind.
It's a bit like dating, isn't it? A bit like dating.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to give any great examples here, by the way, because I have a background in it. But it worked for my wife, so I did something wrong at some point. Something right at some point. Look, you wouldn't go into a bar and just get down on one knee and ask them to marry you.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of people are doing on LinkedIn, aren't they? It's just so much commitment up front. There's no relationship building. You didn't even buy me a drink. There's nothing. There's no value in what it is when you just ask straight for the appointment. It's just like so high barrier to entry.
It just pisses people off, doesn't it? It just goes, hang on, who are you? I don't want your service. I don't need your service. And actually,
you want about dating now? You want about LinkedIn?
Both. But it's so true. I mean, if you send a message like that, I'm not going to remember you in 3 months, and your potential prospects, when they're ready to buy, they're not going to remember you in 3 months. But if you're consistent, if you're an authority, if you're commenting knowledgeably, and then systematically DMing people something of value, maybe wanting to gather their thoughts or whatever it might be on a particular subject, I can guarantee you will literally be 10 times more likely to win them as a client at some point. It could be a month, it could be a year, but you're definitely going to do better than if you just put a post out there every 6 months and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to show up, haven't you? And I always look beyond. Okay, does this person help me? Okay, but there's lots of other people out there that do help me. Now, do I like this person? And do I also trust that when I take this service from them, have they given me enough social proof through their social media where I will be able to go, yeah, I know this person can actually help me. Then I will consider having a call by downloading your thing, listening to your podcast, whatever the call to action may be.
Yeah, it's exactly that, and I mean, social proof is a huge one. I mean, so one of the packages I offer is around LinkedIn network growth and everything else, and I've recently done a bit of a campaign getting my social proof out there that it does work, and off the back of that, there have been inquiries, there have been people reaching out. Hey, saw the video, saw what you've done for. I won't mention them, but saw what you've done for these guys. Look, let's have a conversation. So actually, the aim here, it isn't just to hit someone with a DM at the right time or to get your outreach in such a way that you hit them to gain it's about gaining an inquiry, because your ICP, your network, is that targeted, and the content you put out there and the comments you post is that targeted. They should actually come to you just as much as you go to them. That's the end goal here. You're almost gaining appointments while you sleep in that way. So really important.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the show so far and you're getting a lot of value from it. Look, we do this for free because it's our vision to help more businesses and their teams scale and actually achieve what they went into business and their career for. So these raw boardroom style conversations deliver the real data on what works and what doesn't, saving you time, money, and most of all, making sure that you don't miss on these opportunities that could really help you scale. Sharing it with people you know really, really supports us on these podcast platforms so we can achieve our vision. If you have a like-minded friend, colleague, or business owner that could get value from this, thank you for sharing it with them. You know who you are, and greatest respect for everybody that's doing that so far. And if you haven't, then please support us. Let's get back to the show. So tell me about, you mentioned ICP. Just to clarify then, ICP, what does it mean? And how do you go about that? Because all this is great stuff, right? But you don't want to just be a machine gun. Some of the lessons that I've learned in business as entrepreneur and business coaching coaching all these different businesses is that you can't just sporadically go out there and machine gun and start to scatter. So when it comes to ICP, is that your tool that you use to, and it's a bit of a leading question because I know the answer to it, it is the tool that you use. Yeah, right. What does it mean, and how can you help the listeners and give them a bit of value today of how they can get started?
So ICP, ideal customer profile. And what I mean by that is I don't just mean a, job title in X industry that's so many employees in a certain geography. Yes, all of that's something you need for LinkedIn and the filters. But what I actually mean by that is taking a look at your past customers, your best paying and your best to work with, and your best margin. Have a look at them, have a look at the solutions you put in place, have a look at their whys. Okay, so what are their goals? What are their challenges? How do you help them overcome them and get to their goal? What I'd suggest anyone to do is to do that rather than going and sending out 100 connection requests or 100 DMs. Just get 5 people, okay, that you fit or fit your ideal client profile solidly, okay, that you can get under the skin of the pain points of their experience as a business. Send them a direct message with a light call to action, okay? So along the lines of, hi, Lewis, noticed that you own multiple business. Actually, I work with serial entrepreneurs and investors, and actually have them win back a little bit more of their time. It would be great to get your take on how you're systematically making the most of your time to perhaps share with others. Something like that. Really, really like call to action. And just evidence that the pain point, you've experienced the pain point, you work with others with that specific pain point, and that you speak to them on a peer basis, not just a pitch slapper. If that makes sense.
Like
Pitch slapper, yeah. And you're a peer, you're speaking their language, you're resonating with pain points, and it doesn't take much for them to respond. That's what you want to be doing. But anyone listening to this, 5 to 10 of those, do that tonight, and you'll gain responses. You might not win business, but actually 5 out of 10 responses is better than what you would have got doing nothing.
Yeah, very good, very good. So Willis, what about hot topic right now? See all over LinkedIn. I'll say right now, last couple of years, AI. Should AI be writing your content when you are posting?
It's a contentious one, isn't it? And I am gonna have splinters in my arse here because I'm gonna sit on the fence a bit, because I think that LinkedIn posts and content and comments should be filled with personality. They should be yours. They should be original and your thoughts. But, and there is a caveat, LinkedIn is an amazing way to gather information from multiple sources if you're including things like statistics in your posts, industry trends at a touch of a button. So that's why I say I'm on the fence. It's make sure you're original, make sure you're crafting the content that has your personality and your style of language. But if you need to add some statistics or specific industry stuff into there, by all means use AI to complement it, but don't use it as a standalone. Would be my advice. Don't use it as a standalone to create.
Yeah, it's interesting because some of the coaching clients and their teams, they're not always marketers, and it's all right for me and you to talk about this stuff, Willis, because we're marketers.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I've built businesses and they need clients, and I always have to start with marketing. In fact, it's the one thing I don't particularly like to outsource unless it's somebody, who's doing the consistency and helping me out with that sort of stuff. But if I'm outsourcing it to a person like an employee, then AI is also outsourcing it in a way. So it's okay for you to get an employee to do your LinkedIn for you and to do your marketing for you on your website, but it's not okay for AI to do it. Now, I think from ethically, nobody wants to admit, it's AI, blah, blah, blah. It's not right. I'm also authentic and blah, blah, blah. But that's kind of like saying, well, it's authentic for me to actually write in a book versus using a typewriter. It's not me writing it, and to use spell check. I'm a bad speller, but spell check makes me look good, so it's authentic. Some of the people that I work with, and they range from 25 to 65. Some of my clients, they're just not great marketers, and they admit it. They're good technicians. They love doing what they do, right? And marketing is a headache for them, so they'll get them to come on, coach them, take them by the hand every step of the way, teach them all the stuff, and they'll show up for the first couple of weeks, and then it'd be like, sorry, Lewis, I know I need to do it, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And then when they hire somebody, they hire someone who just takes the piss out of them, really, and because they don't understand marketing, then So I think AI tools as well do help the people out there become more consistent.
Massively.
Even if it's just give me, here's a 30-day, 90-day plan. I need to post twice a week. So give me 20 different posts that I can think about and talk about, help me out. So using it as a tool to help them be consistent and show up. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if you're using AI or not AI. If you're not showing up, it doesn't fucking matter anyway, because no one's going to see you or hear your stuff. So if it means getting in the way of stuff, that you've got this bullshit belief that you can't use AI, then look, it's going to slow you down.
Creating posts, getting posts out there and getting content out there is better than doing nothing. Of course it is. Absolutely. And that it comes back to that piece, doesn't it? And you'll know this better than anyone through your sort of experience, that business owners, they haven't got the time to be sat there creating posts, commenting on 10 people's statuses, or sending 20 DMs, connecting with 30 people each day. And AI can be an amazing tool to help speed that process up. So yeah, still on the fence because I think that yes, speeding the process up, getting stuff out there is better than not getting stuff out there. But having that personal element to it, for me, is really important because, and I know there are tools out there that will go and like and comment on other people's posts and things like that. They'll probably be just as effective as a human in years to come. But right now, I think there's still a bit of a gap before they get there.
Yeah. But it's still being written by a human, though. It's still being done and written by a human. I mean, the idea is if you do have a post that the AI has written, you're reading it all, you're putting it in your own words, and you're going, that ain't right. That ain't
Yeah.
right. The amount of crap that sometimes ChatGPT throws at you, like, that's just BS. But at least it got you started. Sometimes there's so much writer's block, it doesn't ever get you started. So I think that there is a place for it, but having it totally write your stuff isn't the right thing to do.
No,
And you can stand out by it. You can see standing out like a sore thumb, can't you? When someone just writes with AI.
Huge. And don't get me started on the great online LinkedIn debate about the EM dashes that appear everywhere, and that's the telltale sign. There's loads, the structure of the content and everything else. There's loads of telltale signs. But you raise a really good point there. It's if it helps you take the first step, great, because without the first step, you can't take the second, third, fourth, fifth, 1,000 steps. So actually, there is a place, and if it is to take the first step, great. Just don't let it be every step.
Exactly. And it just drives home that message. There's so many high performers that we work with that are very good at what they do, but they're not very good at the other areas. And if they're not showing up and doing their marketing, and if this allows them to take the first step, like you just mentioned, into doing some stuff like that so they can get recognized for the high performance stuff that they do, then crack on.
Absolutely.
Don't be judged by it. Let's just support it and realize that this is the world that we live in moving forward.
That's it. And the technical operators are the best. The technical operators and the business owners that are technical operators are the best when it comes to working with, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to strategy, because the depth of knowledge and what they can pass on to you to create content with is huge. So yeah, love a technical operator to work alongside.
Yeah, great stuff, mate. Well, great to speak to you today, mate. Right, if you could leave the audience with one last thing, what would it be?
Show up consistently and be in the places where your prospects are when they're looking to buy.
Love it.
Quite succinct, but yeah, get there, get posting, get commenting, get liking, get sharing.